to my exclusive interview with the mother of victim number 1. Her son was brave enough to step forward, and she is speaking out now to make sure that justice is done and other children are protected. For her protection in this difficult time, we won't show her face, and her voice has been altered. Her son was just 11 when he first met Jerry Sandusky, a summer camper at the coach's Second Mile Foundation. It all seemed so innocent. When was the first time you suspected that something was wrong with the relationship?
My son started acting out. I went to the school counselors and it was basically, they said, a puberty thing.
And at some point he came to you and he said he wanted some information about how to look up sex weirdos?
Yes.
What did you think of that?
I asked him who he was looking up, and he said he wanted to see if Jerry was on there. And I said, well, why would you look him up? And he said, I don't know, he's a weirdo. And I proceeded to ask him if there was something he needed to tell me. And at that point, he didn't indicate anything. I called the school and expressed my concerns. I told them to pull my son down to the guidance office and talk to him. And they did. At that point, they called me telling me that it was very important that I get there immediately, which at that point I already had suspicions, so I kind of knew what it was about.
But that was more than a year after her son began spending more time with Sandusky, alone every week, sleeping over in his basement. That's where prosecutors say Sandusky began to abuse the boy. When you read in the indictment what was going on in that basement, what went through your mind? What did you want to do?
I was horrified. I was absolutely horrified.
According to the grand jury indictment, high school administrators had also been allowing Sandusky to pull her son out of class for unsupervised visits. One wrestling coach even testified that he caught Sandusky lying on top of the boy in a secluded weight room. But his mother says she knew nothing.
I didn't even know that he was leaving the school with my child. I didn't know that he was taking him out of classes. They never told me that.
Why do you think your son never told you?
Well, I think it was a lot of embarrassment. He was letting me hints to figure it out. And I did eventually figure it out.
And when you finally did have the chance to have a heart-to-heart with your son years after the relationship first began, tell us about that. What happened?
We had a discussion where, I had said, if, maybe we should have, come to this conclusion earlier. You should have told me. And he was like, well, he said, I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do, and you just can't tell Jerry no.
He felt stuck. He was just a little kid.
Yeah.
And what surprises, saddens, and angers her the most, the number of people who seemed to know something was going on but didn't call police, including Coach Joe Paterno. You think it was the right thing for him to be fired?
Well, I think if he had any inclination of this, and he may have legally did what he needed to do, but there's got to be some morals there, and in my opinion, yes. I think that they all needed to be gone.
I can't imagine what you must be feeling, what you must be thinking, how angry you must be. I know how angry I would be if this were something that happened to my kids. Do you have any sense of how this could have gone on for so long and been so widespread and never got out?
I have no idea. I have no idea how. I can't even imagine. I don't have any clue.
What is your son saying now about what happened and about everything that's he's seen at Penn State over the last few days?
The students of Penn State are not involved in hiding this or doing anything to him, so he's really, he's all cheering for the team, but as far as the people that hit it, no, we have no respect for those people.
At some point he'll probably have to be testifying in court. That's going to be very difficult.
Very. But he's a brave kid.
How would you and your son like to see this end? What would you like to see happen?
I want justice. I want him to be locked up. There's no help for somebody that does this. There's not like this. He needs to be put away. He needs to be put away for a long time.
Boy, that is just so hard to hear. And and the mother alluded to it. What compounds these crimes is the shame they heap on these kids that makes it so hard for them to speak out, and it gets to go on for so long.
The abuser often tells the child, no one's going to believe you. They won't believe you anyway. But her son, very brave to step up as he did, George.